From zero to PhD hero, your complete roadmap to scholarships, project funding, and professor acceptance. Hello and welcome. A warm welcome to all new viewers. Thank you for subscribing and watching my channel. And to those who've been with me for a while, thank you for your continued support, for watching, and for sharing the channel so that more people can benefit from it. If you're dreaming of a PhD, but worried about the how to pay for it, how to get your research funded, how to get a professor to take you on, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll walk you through a complete roadmap to go from zero to PhD hero, covering scholarships, project funding, and securing that coveted professor acceptance. Let's dive in, step by step, in a friendly, conversational way. Grab a seat. Class, or should I say PhD journey, is now in session. Step 1. Secure your scholarship or funding. First, stop funding. The great news is you usually shouldn't have to pay for a PhD out of pocket. In fact, many PhD programs will pay you to study. Yes, you heard that right. They pay you. Most top-tier PhD programs offer full funding, tuition plus stipend, especially in science and engineering fields. Many programs in Europe and Canada, for example, are fully funded, meaning they cover your tuition and living expenses. Typically, a PhD stipend can range around $20,000 to $30,000 per year in the US. You won't get rich, but it's enough to live on while you focus on your research. So, how do you grab one of these scholarships or funding packages? Let's break down the main options: scholarships and fellowships. These are merit-based awards that you don't have to pay back. They often cover tuition and sometimes provide a stipend for living costs. Scholarships might be offered by universities, governments, or organizations to attract top students. Fellowships are similar, usually prestigious, competitive awards that let you focus on your studies, often no work requirements. Examples: the Fulbright Fellowship in the US or the DAAD Scholarship in Germany are well-known programs that fund doctoral students. There are also famous ones like the Rhodes Scholarship and Google PhD Fellowship for exceptional candidates. Research your field for any specialized scholarships or fellowships available. Assistantships, TA positions. Many PhD students earn their keep through assistantships. This means you work part-time for the university, either teaching undergraduate classes as a teaching assistant, TA, or doing research work as a research assistant, RA. And in return, the university waives your tuition and pays you a stipend. It's like a part-time job built into your PhD. The upside, you gain teaching or research experience and a paycheck. The commitment varies, but typically, it's 10-20 hours of work per week for the department. Assistantships are common in the STEM fields and also in social sciences and humanities, where you might teach discussion sections or grade papers. Keep an eye out for PhD programs that offer guaranteed assistantships as part of the admission offer. Grants. Grants are lumps of funding, often from governments or foundations, to support research in specific areas. Unlike scholarships, grants can be based on need or project proposals. You don't repay them either. Some grants are targeted for certain fields or demographics. For example, in the US, agencies like the National Science Foundation, NSF, offer grants and fellowships for doctoral research. There are also grant databases like grants.gov where you can search for research funding opportunities. If you have a particular research project idea, you might seek a grant to fund that work. More on project funding soon. Keep in mind, as a prospective PhD student, large research grants usually go to professors since they will supervise the project, but there are smaller grants you can apply to as a student for things like equipment or travel. Either way, being aware of grant opportunities in your field is smart. You can even mention in your application or interview that you plan to apply for XYZ grant, which shows initiative. Studentships, Bachelor, project funding. In some regions, like the UK and Europe, you'll see the term studentship. A studentship is essentially a PhD position with a specific project and funding attached. Instead of you finding the money, a professor already has a funded project, maybe a grant from a research council or industry, and they need a PhD student to work on it. In this case, your scholarship is built in as a job on that project. You get paid to do that particular research. This is project-based funding. If you love a certain research topic, look for advertised PhD openings or studentships in that area. They usually mention what project you'd work on and what funding, stipend, etc. is provided. Applying for a funded studentship can be a fantastic way to secure admission and funding in one go, especially in fields like engineering or science, where professors often hire PhD students on their grants. University scholarships and loans. Many universities have their own internal scholarships or tuition waivers for PhD students. Always check the funding page of the programs you apply to. Some have fellowships for top applicants or specialized awards, like for underrepresented students or certain research areas. In some countries, there are also PhD loans. For example, the UK offers doctoral student loans, but these should usually be a last resort if you can't find other funding. Ideally, you want a scholarship, fellowship, or assistantship that you don't have to repay, rather than taking a loan for a PhD. Remember, a PhD is not like undergrad. You generally shouldn't go broke or into debt for it if you plan carefully. Where to find these opportunities? Start by searching online databases and scholarship portals. Websites like Find a PhD, great for seeing funded PhD positions, especially in Europe, or scholarship positions list PhD scholarships globally. University websites often have funding opportunities pages as well. For instance, check if the universities you're interested in have pages for graduate funding or a list of fellowships. Also look at government and academic organizations in your field. Many professional associations offer small scholarships or awards for grad students. The key is to cast a wide net. Make a spreadsheet of all potential funding sources and deadlines. Pro tip: start early, really early. Many scholarship and funding applications are due far in advance, often 6 to 12 months before your PhD program would start. That means if you want to begin a PhD next year, you should be hunting for scholarships now. Mark those deadlines on your calendar. Also, apply to multiple funding sources to improve your odds. Think of it like fishing. More lines in the water, better chance to catch a fish. One student might apply to 10 different scholarships and only win one. But that one can be life-changing. And don't get discouraged by competition. Persistence is key. As the saying goes, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Before we move on, let's recap this step with a mini checklist of funding tips. Research funding options wide and far. Look for government scholarships, university fellowships, private foundations, etc. E.g., Commonwealth PhD Scholarship in the UK, Fulbright in the US, Marie Curie in Europe, and so on. Prepare application materials. You'll typically need things like a solid statement of purpose, your CV, academic transcripts, and reference letters to apply for funding. Start drafting those early. Tailor each application to highlight why you are a perfect fit for that scholarship or grant. Align your goals with the funder's mission. Keep organized. Maintain a list or spreadsheet of all scholarships and funding opportunities you plan to apply for, with their requirements and deadlines. This will save you from last-minute scrambles. Leverage your network. Tell your professors or mentors that you're looking for PhD funding. They might write recommendation letters or point you to specific grants. Sometimes an insider tip is golden. Quality over quantity, to a point. Yes, apply widely, but also put genuine effort into each application. A few well-crafted applications will beat dozens of sloppy ones. Reviewers can tell if you just copy-pasted generic text. Make each count. All right, with funding sources in our toolkit, let's move to the next piece of the puzzle. Securing a research project and the funding that comes with that. Step 2. Find or fund your research project. Next up, project funding and research proposals. Getting a PhD isn't just about money. You also need a research project to work on. In many cases, funding and project go hand in hand. Here's how to navigate this. Option A, join an existing funded project. A common way to do a PhD is to apply for an already funded project. Universities, labs, or professors often have grants to investigate specific topics. They advertise for a PhD student to work on that project. This is the studentship scenario we mentioned. If you find one that matches your interest, bingo, you have a ready-made project and funding. Keep an eye on sites like Find a PhD or university job boards for these openings. The listing will usually describe the project, e.g., improving solar panel efficiency with nanomaterials, and say something like PhD scholarship available, 3-year funding provided by X grant. When you apply, emphasize why you're excited about that project and what skills you bring to it. Option B, pitch your own project and get it funded. Maybe you have your own research idea you're burning to pursue. That's awesome. In this case, you'll need to find both a supervisor and funding for it. Start by outlining your idea in a short research proposal, what you want to study, why it matters, and how you might do it. Then, look for funding that fits. Are there grants or fellowships for that topic? For example, governments and organizations have priority areas, maybe climate change, cancer research, AI, etc., depending on your field. If your project aligns with those, even better. Some grants for doctoral research will require you, and usually your prospective advisor, to submit a proposal to compete for funding. Keep in mind that large grants usually require a PhD holder as the principal investigator, so as a student, you often need a professor to co-apply. But there are smaller grants specifically for grad students. For instance, many professional societies offer 1K, 5K grants for student research or travel. These can fund pieces of your project, like a study survey, a special experiment, or attending a conference to present your work. Every bit helps. Industry and NGOs. Another route to fund a project is through industry or nonprofits. Some companies sponsor PhDs if the research could benefit them. For example, a biotech company might fund a PhD working on a new drug that the company is interested in. These can be win-win. You get funding and possibly an inside track to a job later, and they get research done. Similarly, nonprofits or foundations might fund a project that aligns with their mission, e.g., a conservation charity funding a PhD on wildlife protection. These opportunities might not be as visible, so use your network and do targeted searches. Don't be shy to reach out to organizations and ask if they support doctoral research in your area. You might be surprised. Crafting your research proposal. Whether joining an existing project or proposing your own, you should be able to clearly articulate your research idea. This is often required in applications. What do you want to discover or prove? Why is it important? How will you approach it? You don't need a 10-page thesis proposal at the application stage, usually 1-2 pages suffice. But you do need a coherent vision. Bonus: a well-thought-out proposal can also impress a potential supervisor. More on that soon. It shows you're serious and prepared. Show that your project is feasible and matches available funding. If you're crafting your own project, be mindful of scope. A PhD is typically 3 to 5 years, so don't propose something that would take 20 years or a billion-dollar budget. Align it with what a student can do with the resources at hand. You can mention how you plan to fund parts of it, e.g., I will apply for XYZ fellowship to support this research. This signals initiative. In fact, many programs will ask how you intend to fund your studies. Coming in with a scholarship or fellowship, or a plan for one, is a huge plus in your application. Summary for Step 2. Identify a compelling research project and secure the funding or resources for it. Either hop on a funded project out there, or chart your own path and connect it with funding sources. By doing so, you're not just bringing money to the table, you're bringing a plan. Which brings us to the next crucial step, getting a professor on board with that plan. Step 3, get a professor to say you're in. All right, you've got an idea of how to fund your PhD, and maybe even a project in mind. But you can't do a PhD alone. You need a PhD supervisor, advisor, mentor, who agrees to guide you. In many application processes, having a professor interested in working with you ahead of time can make all the difference in getting accepted. Here's how to win over a professor and secure that, yes, I'll take you as my student. Do your homework on potential advisors. Start by researching who in your field does work that excites you. If you're into machine learning, who are the professors publishing cool papers on it? If you want to cure diseases, who's doing cutting-edge biomedical research? Make a list of potential supervisors whose interests align with yours. Aim high, but also consider up-and-coming researchers, not just the super famous ones, who might have less time. Read at least one of their recent papers if you can. It gives you talking points and shows respect for their work. Reach out with a great first email. The most common way to connect is by emailing the professor. This email is critical. Think of it like a first impression or even an informal interview. You want to be professional, polite, and genuinely interested. Keep it short and focused. Professors are busy people. Here are some tips for that email. Subject line. Make it clear and specific. For example, prospective PhD student interested in prof's research topic. is a decent start. Or inquiry about PhD opportunities in your lab for fall 2026. Greeting, use a proper salutation, like Dear Dr. Smith or Dear Professor Chen. No casual hey, show respect from the get-go. Introduce yourself briefly. In one sentence, say who you are, name, what degree you have, or are finishing, any relevant research experience, or where you're from. For example, my name is Alex, and I'm currently completing my master's in biology at XYZ University. Mention why you're contacting them specifically. This is where your homework pays off. One of the biggest mistakes is sending generic emails. Don't do that. Instead, mention something about their work that grabbed you. Maybe a paper of theirs you read or a project you saw on their website. For instance, I was excited by your recent publication on renewable energy storage, and it aligns with my own interests in sustainable tech. This shows you're serious and not just spamming every professor in the world. Avoid vague lines like I am interested in your research with no detail. Professors see through that. A personalized touch dramatically increases your chances of a response. State your interest and question. After the intro, clearly state that you are interested in pursuing a PhD and ask if they are taking new students or could advise you. For example, I am writing to inquire about the possibility of a PhD under your supervision, focusing on some topic or project idea. If you have a research proposal draft, you might mention it. I have drafted a proposal on your topic and would love to see if it might fit with your current projects. Highlight your strengths, but humbly. You can add 1 or 2 sentences about your background, especially any research experience, publications, or skills that are relevant. During my master's, I worked on a project involving AI in healthcare, and it gave me solid experience in data analysis and machine learning techniques. Show that you have some preparation for research. Close politely, thank them for their time, and sign off formally, e.g., sincerely, your name. Keep the email concise, a few short paragraphs at most. Remember, this isn't your full life story or a full proposal. You can attach a CV though, or offer to send more info. The goal is to spark their interest and get a conversation started. Example of a strong line in your email. Professor Jones, I was fascinated by your recent study on quantum computing for drug discovery, especially how you integrated physics and biology. My own research during my MSc explored a similar intersection, and it would be incredible to continue in this direction for my PhD. Could we discuss potential opportunities in your lab? See how this shows you know their work and connects it to yours? That's the kind of genuine connection that can make a professor think, this person could be a good fit. What to do if they respond? Great. If a professor replies and seems interested, they might want to chat over Zoom or phone, or even just continue by email. Be prepared to discuss your research interests more in depth. They might ask about your grades, experience, why you want a PhD, etc. It's informal usually, but treat it seriously. Be enthusiastic. Ask them questions too, like, what projects do you have coming up? What are you looking for in a PhD student? This is as much you interviewing them as vice versa, since a PhD advisor relationship is important. If all goes well, the professor might say, yes, I'd be happy to support your application to our program, which is golden. Some places actually require that you have an advisor lined up before official admission. So securing this means you've essentially cleared a major hurdle. If they don't respond or say no, don't be discouraged. Professors get lots of emails. If no reply, you can send a gentle follow-up in a couple of weeks. If they say they're not taking students or your interests don't match, thank them and move on. It's normal. That's why you contact multiple professors, but always personalize each email. Eventually, you'll find a match. Tip: it can help to mention if you have or are applying for funding in your email. For example, I'm applying for the National XYZ Scholarship to fund my PhD. If a professor knows you might come with your own funding, you become an even more attractive candidate. Even if you don't have funding yet, showing you're working on it is great. Respect and professionalism. When interacting with professors, always be respectful of their time. If you don't understand something they mention, it's okay to ask for clarification. It shows you're eager to learn. Also, be honest. Don't claim to know more than you do. It's fine to say, I'm new to this topic but very keen to learn. Professors appreciate authenticity. And absolutely avoid coming across as entitled or demanding. No one owes you a PhD spot. You are seeking a mentor, not a customer service rep. A little humility goes a long way. Finally, the professor's acceptance. Once a professor has agreed, formally or informally, to supervise you, that's usually communicated in your application. Some universities ask the professor to write a support letter or email the admissions committee. In other cases, you will mention in your statement that Dr. X has expressed interest in my application, if that's true. This can significantly boost your chances since the department knows there's a faculty member backing you. Essentially, you've turned from an unknown applicant to the person Dr. X wants to work with. And that often tips the scales in your favor. It's not guaranteed admission, but it's one of the strongest cards you can play. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap of Step 3, Professor Game Plan. Find the right profs, align research interests, read their work, list your top picks. Send thoughtful, tailored emails. No copy-paste spam. Show genuine interest in their research and connect it to yours. Avoid generic flattery. Be specific. A personalized email is far more likely to get a positive response. Attach CV and maybe a short proposal. This makes it easy for them to see your qualifications. Mention any accomplishments or skills relevant to their work. Follow up politely. If needed, send one follow-up if you hear nothing. Professors aren't ignoring you out of spite. They might be swamped. A gentle nudge is okay. Communicate professionally. From emails to any calls, treat it like a job interview, but with a collegial tone. Be excited, curious, and courteous. Seal the deal. If a professor is keen, discuss next steps. Do you need to formally list them on your application? Should you apply to a specific program? Make sure you know how the department's process works. Oftentimes, once you have a willing supervisor, the rest of the application is a formality. You still need to meet requirements, of course, like GPA, etc., but you're in a very strong position. Conclusion: your journey from zero to PhD hero, congratulations. You've made it through the roadmap. From figuring out funding to outlining a project to getting a professor on board, we've covered the key milestones on the way to your PhD dream. It might seem like a lot, but remember, every PhD hero starts from zero. The difference is, those who succeed take it step by step and never give up. Let's quickly summarize our journey. Funding first. Don't let money scare you away. There are scholarships, fellowships, and assistantships out there. Go get them. Many programs will fund you if you prove you're worth it. Start early and apply broadly. The funding is competitive, but someone's got to win it. Why not you? Project and plan. Know what you want to research, at least in a general area, and either find a funded project or craft a proposal of your own. Show that your PhD will have purpose and direction. It's okay if the project evolves later, they often do, but having a vision now sets you apart. Professor partner. Academia is a team sport. Find a mentor whose interests align with yours and impress them with your genuine curiosity and preparedness. A supportive advisor can open the door for you and guide you through the PhD years. It's like finding your Yoda. Always two there are, master and apprentice, as Yoda would say. Except in academia, sometimes there are co-advisors, but you get the point. Finally, believe in yourself. The PhD journey can be long and challenging, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Getting funding, a project, and a professor is just the beginning. An important beginning. With those in place, you'll be set up to focus on learning and making new discoveries. You'll go from asking questions to answering them, from dreaming about doing research to publishing papers about what you found. That's the hero's journey in academia. Call to action: if you found this roadmap helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on academic and career success. Got questions or your own tips about the PhD process? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and help out if I can. Remember, sharing is caring. If you know someone else fretting over PhD applications, share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you all the best on your path from zero to PhD hero. You've got this. Until next time, happy researching and see you in the next video. Well, thank you so much for watching and sharing.